Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive from the Definite podcast. We're your shortcut to understanding what's really moving the needle in DeFi and the markets. And yeah, this is all powered by Defiant, the lifestyle sports brand that's right there on chain. Today, we're cutting through the noise for you.
Absolutely. Let's jump right in. First up, Solana. Big news there for April.
Huge news. Their revenue numbers, they basically topped everyone else. Every other layer 1 or layer 2.
Yeah, that's quite something. It really signals strong adoption, you know?
It does. And you have to ask, why is that happening? Well, it seems like their speed and the low costs are really hitting the mark.
Exactly. It's attracting developers. It's attracting users. You see all sorts of dApps popping up. It shows where the activity is concentrated.
It's like a real hub forming. It tells you where potential future growth, maybe even investment opportunities might lie.
Precisely. And it's not just fees. It's this whole ecosystem buzzing.
Yeah.
Hard for others to match that momentum right now.
Okay, shifting over a bit, let's talk institutional flows. Still seeing big money coming in.
Oh, yeah. Last week, another, what was it, $2 billion into digital asset products?
$2 billion. And Bitcoin got the bulk of that, like $1.8 billion.
It did. But interestingly, you still saw about $6.4 million go into short Bitcoin products. So not everyone's convinced, but the overall picture is pretty bullish from institutions.
So the takeaway is confidence is growing, even with a little hedging on the side.
I think so. I mean, sustained inflows like this suggest the big players see long-term potential that can really help with market stability, and maybe fuel more growth down the line.
Okay, and it's not just the big cryptos making noise. Tokenized real-world assets, that space is really heating up.
It really is. The total value just broke past $22 billion. That's more than a 10% jump in just the last month.
Wow, 10% in a month. And Ethereum's leading there.
Yep, Ethereum holds about $6.5 billion of that. And ZK Sync is coming up strong, too, around $2.2 billion.
ZK Sync, that helps Ethereum scale, right? Keep costs down.
Yeah. Exactly. It's layer 2 tech. But why this matters for you listening? Well, imagine things like real estate or art being traded easily on a blockchain.
Makes them more liquid, more accessible.
Potentially, yeah. It could kind of democratize investing in things that used to be really hard to buy into unless you had a lot of capital. Think fractional ownership, things like that.
Interesting. But even giants like Bitcoin aren't totally immune to the wider world, are they? We saw that dip recently.
Right. It slipped under $95,000 for a bit. And that was apparently tied to news about potential new tariffs, including one on foreign movies, strangely enough.
Huh. So it just shows how interconnected everything is, doesn't it? Global economics, politics, it can ripple into crypto.
Definitely. Even for something designed to be decentralized, investor mood is still affected by, well, everything else going on. A good reminder, really.
Okay, but on a more positive note, especially for the U.S. scene, there's this draft crypto framework that's come out. Some are calling it a potential golden age. That sounds optimistic.
It does sound optimistic, maybe a bit much, but the core idea is important. Clearer rules of the road.
Right. Regulation has been such a gray area, so this aims to clarify things like, taxes and compliance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if they get it right, that kind of clarity could be huge. It removes uncertainty, makes it easier for, traditional institutions and maybe more everyday users to get involved.
So it could foster more adoption, more innovation, if it creates a stable environment.
That's the hope, providing those guardrails for responsible growth without stifling everything. It's a tricky balance, of course.
Okay, so let's quickly recap. We've got Solana shining with its revenue, showing ecosystem strength.
Continued big money flowing in, signaling institutional belief.
Then this boom in tokenized assets hinting at, maybe a new way to invest.
Right, and Bitcoin reminding us it's still plugged into global events.
And finally, this potential regulatory shift in the U.S. that could maybe smooth the path forward. Quite a mix.
It really is. You see technology, finance, regulation.
Yeah.
All these threads weaving together. It's what makes this space so dynamic.
So for you listening, the key is watching how these different forces interact. That's where the real story unfolds, and maybe where the opportunities are. Thanks for tuning into this deep dive with us. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and as always, stay defiant.